Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Breaking news bulletin this morning, all about E3. I'm Byron. This is Slade alongside with me, and let's just get right into it, shall we, Slade?
Yeah, so this is going to be quite a bit of a shorter episode. We're kind of playing with the idea that we cover a lot of news individually instead of kind of putting them in our condensed videos that we have been doing. So without further ado, let's get underway. We got some interesting news in regards to E3.
Yes. So, last night, posted by Kat Bailey of IGN on IGN, they got the scoop that Xbox, Nintendo, and Sony won't be part of E3 2023.
That is correct. So all of the big three major, publishers, console developers will not be participating in E3, which is crazy news considering, all the change in leadership from E3, its cancellation last year, and possibly this could spell the end of E3 permanently.
Yeah, and as mentioned in the article, this information comes on the heels of Xbox's announcement last week to IGN, in an interview, that it would be returning to Los Angeles for its annual summer showcase, while declining to confirm whether it would be part of the show itself. Which, maybe that was a telltale sign. No pun intended.
Yeah. I mean, Sony canceling isn't like the craziest thing in the world. Haven't been a part of E3 for like a really long time.
Nintendo and Xbox are the shockers of the two.
Yeah. So, what does this mean for E3? Well, nothing good, I can tell you. I think at this point, a lot of the doomsayers saying that, E3 is dead because this reason or that reason might have some credibility to like those kind of like rumors and like statements now, honestly, because I don't see a future where E3 functions well without the big three console developers.
Yeah, and like even at one point I think we were doomsayers, but then obviously the ReedPop thing happened and we were like, okay, ReedPop have run great conventions. They run the PAX events, which I believe at least two of those big three still go to it. But
yeah,
I wonder, it's going to be interesting when more detail comes out. But this story has not just been corroborated by IGN. It also has had some corroboration from VGC and from Polygon. So
that is correct. So this is true. This is all factual news here. It's not
and every other,
just the rumor
mill.
Every
other news, Kotaku, Game Informer, a lot of those other major gaming outlets have this covered, because this is probably one of the bigger stories of the year so far.
Yeah, I think this is probably some of the hugest news of the year this far, because this will probably mean that Microsoft found their recent digital announcement event to be quite successful.
Well, yeah.
And they're definitely moving in the direction of having their direct-like presentations.
Yeah, which,
and obviously Nintendo started the whole trend with digital events to begin with.
Yeah, you know what? The one time Nintendo is ahead of the curve, it's like stupidly ahead of the curve in comparison to everybody else, which is crazy. Right?
Right. So overall, this shit's pretty insane. Also, Jeff Keighley kind of cheekily getting in there in response to these news with announcing that the Summer's Games Fest will be live June 8th.
Yep, which, don't worry, we will cover. Uniquely, it will be live from the YouTube theater.
Yeah, so that's going to be pretty interesting to see if the big three companies possibly affiliate themselves with Summer Games Fest instead. But my hard read on the situation is that Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony don't affiliate themselves with either event, and instead they just, make their presentations and run them whatever timetable works for them individually.
I definitely maybe like because I know Sony and Microsoft have given Keighley stuff in the past, especially considering the Xbox Series X, the next generation, was announced at the Game Awards, I think in 2019. And considering Sony had a lot of decent announcements the past few years at like Game Awards and Summer Game Fest and stuff, but definitely Nintendo. I think Nintendo sit it out. I think this could lead to Nintendo not having a direct in the summer again, like last year, and I think the year before that as well.
Yeah, I am in complete agreement with you. I think this might be a beginning trend for Nintendo where they just have a winter direct and a fall direct every year.
Well, yeah.
And then they have like basically they get everything out of the way for first half of the year titles, second half of the year titles plus future titles, and then they just hold individual direct for specific game releases should they feel the need to do so.
Yeah, or if they want to do like another Mario movie direct, a theme park direct.
Yeah, so overall pretty interesting stuff. Again, this probably spells the end of E3.
Oh,
overall.
Absolutely.
Because, again, I just don't see the conference, thriving or even being remotely successful without having the big three major console publishers. Honestly, just one of them would do them a lot of good.
Yeah, like, this is, as the IGN article says, a big blow for E3. Ampere analyst Piers Harding-Rolls tells IGN, quote, "The show floor will certainly miss the buzz and scale of the platform holder stands." Because, Nintendo had usually the biggest space on the floor at E3 because of their extravagant displays, whether it's Mario, Zelda, I think maybe they had a Metroid one at one point, Pokemon.
Oh yeah, Nintendo always went crazy with the actual stands and the decorations and stuff like that compared to the other companies. So overall for the one thing about E3 was kind of like video game Christmas in a sense, where you got like a bunch of announcements and like really hype and cool stuff. It sucks that we're kind of moving away from such a culture, but like I kind of get it with E3's ineptitude in like the past 4 to 5 years in regards to so many different various issues, like for example doxing all of its attendees and whatnot. That's just one of many.
That was a terrible thing to have happened. Like, there's definitely a mistrust there, and also according to one knowledgeable source that IGN contacted, there have been, quote, ongoing frustrations with the ESA over the last 3 years, who they claim have incredibly mishandled the E3 brand over the last 3 years. They corroborated other IGN sources in saying that several major E3 organizers have departed the ESA, quote, leaving a new group to sweep up after them, and criticized ReedPop's handling of the event. The source claims that ReedPop began contacting publishers about E3 last fall while promising to book spots in December. But with less than 6 months to go until E3, the sources say there's, quote, a lot of missing information, which, that's not good. In big text, there's not a good sense that there's an understanding what this show is going to be or how it will come together, which is strange from a company that does such an amazing job with PAX twice a year.
Yeah, kind of crazy that this is the plot twist that everything's taking. So, kind of makes you wonder if they have any companies lined up. Like, do they even have Square Enix or Ubisoft or anybody? Like who really knows at this point? Because, like, if they don't, then like, is E3 just canceled again?
Yeah, one last quote. The information flow hasn't been great. I don't think anyone wants to be the first to go out there. IGN sources claim, which corroborates other conversations that IGN have had around the industry. Ooh, and I thought Repop were going to be more organized. I
thought so too, actually. This is shocking.
The article says, questions, is it an ESA issue? Is it a Repop issue? But there seems to be a lot of genuine interest in the concept of E3, but it's really frustrating that they don't have good solutions. Oh my god. Woo.
So this whole thing's unfortunate, but I think for E3 to have any future, I think they need to like completely destroy it and then rebuild it from the ground up. Because at this point, I think everything they've had from prior like leadership, things that they've put together and all that, clearly the system's just broken. There's just too many gaps in communication. They need to just move on. But that's everything we have for news today. We had a lot of other things like, you know, Gohan and Piccolo being in Fortnite and whatnot. Yeah, but like we said, we just wanted to try and, you know, release these videos on individual topics and see if you, the fans,
for major individual topics, we will do stuff like this. And if you enjoyed this, like that video, hit that subscribe button so you can get tuned into the gaming news. And next, this weekend, me and Slade are going to be back with Nintendo Direct predictions, because it's about that time of year. Speaking of those, Slade, it's that time of year.
Oh, yeah. I'm ready to put on my clown makeup and everything and just
go
absolutely crazy. Oh, yeah. But please do let us know in the comments whether you like this type of video or not. Anyways, this has been Slade.
Byron. We will see you all later this week. Bye-bye, everybody.